Anything come up there, Richelle? What's on the noggin?
Um, well, when I first saw the hub online, my first instinct was this would be a good place to meet people who are interested in, you know, bettering yourself from within, right? So it doesn't necessarily need to be uh, about what you're eating or going to the gym or anything. It needs to be about what's going on inside of you. And I felt that that's what this was. So it drew me in because where I stand, my background in plants and everything, I thought this might be an opportunity to connect with other people who could, and this is just while you're talking, this is what I'm thinking is creating like a retreat type thing that is based around a nature experience, where I could do the forest walking and we could do 30-second nature resets and we can do visualizations and art, art therapy and things like that for like a weekend. I did one once on a as a Zoom thing. It was a 4-hour online thing with 3 other ladies. We had a journaling session, we had a dance therapy session, and we had a session where I just basically did visualization for nature, and how it works even where you don't need to be in nature. Just watching nature or looking at a picture of nature can give you the exact same physical reaction. So it worked very well online. And at that point in my life, I wasn't ready to be seen. Like I liked to be hidden. So now I became a master gardener. I started doing library talks. I got myself out there. My book is just about finished, and I'm really proud of it. And I see myself out there now on stages, and being somebody who promotes being able to make yourself better without ever having to actually go on a nature trip. You don't need a cabin in the forest to make yourself, just feel better about who you are and where your place in the world. And I've really got that vibe from just, I mean, I got involved right from the very get-go, like months ago, and I've just watched it grow. Every time I see a new practitioner's post, I'm like, yay, there's somebody new. It's exciting. And I'm not sure where my role is, but I want to be involved. I feel like I'm called to be here. So yeah, I don't really know what the point I'm trying to make is. I just like the idea of, so 3 months ago, I never would have thought of pairing up with some people I've never met to do sound healing and breath work and nature therapy all to combined as one holistic, event. So it's very enlightening for me. And I say thank you for doing this. This is definitely, I think you're getting across what you want to.
Yay! That's what I was hoping for. That's because, yes, that's exactly what I was hoping for. So, yes, perfect. It's music to my ears because when I talked about it with my business advisor, I said, I don't, because I had to pick in a sense, like, okay, who is the customer? Is it the wellness provider? Is it the client? And I said, well, if it's not either, I said, because I feel that there's even people that live in between that who are wanting to get to that stage, but they might have things that are holding them back. And so I said, well, why don't we create it in so a way that people can feel that they could join no matter what and feel safe to explore. So then hearing now that you're already exploring, I'm like, wow, that is amazing. So because I know you did join right from the beginning, and then to hear the messaging clicked in, so that's also validating for me. So thank you.
Yeah. And
You
well,
did say it for a reason, because I that was a gift for me.
yeah. Well, while you're talking and you're saying basically you're hoping that people will come together and host other events so that you don't have to host everything. You want it to be a larger capacity thing, right? And so an event that you hold inspires me to have something similar but with a little different theme.
Yeah.
So going to the roadshow was perfect for me because I could get to meet other people and I could see that we I don't have 5 heads, and if I do have 5 heads, then there's other people who have 5 heads too, right? So
Yes.
just to use your your little example earlier, I fit somewhere, so Yeah.
And the idea of collaborating is that like safe starting point. Like that's why I still love collaborating, is because it always helps me to feel safer. Like even this project, I'm like, it just feels better when you have others, because then the value side is, there might be pieces that we can honor about ourselves that were maybe not as good as we wish we could be, but when we're in the energy of others, we get inspired or we get fulfilled, because then maybe there's pieces that they can provide that make it a full picture. So it's really
Yeah.
great, right?
It's like, I don't think I have enough to inspire a whole weekend retreat, right? Like you can only do so much with, cornflakes and sunshine. So,
Yes.
um, you need to have other people in there to get the message out. And it just, combining like the sound healing, the first time I'd ever experienced that was at the roadshow. And that really got through to me, right? Because whether like in nature, one of the best ways to connect like with nature is to listen, right? So the sound healing really connected with me. And it's like, I need to incorporate that into what I would offer. I can't offer that because I don't do that kind of thing, but I could collaborate with somebody who does, and this gives me the opportunity to do things like that. So yeah, this is
Yeah.
this. Yeah. And I like the way that it's sort of a support network for people who want to grow into the light kind of thing, like we don't have to do everything and be everything. We can find our own little niche spot and we can work away at it until we're ready to grow it. Um, it's like this the wellness show where I've been playing with so many ideas in my head, and it's just like, what can I do? What can I do? And I sent you a little note earlier today about a 20-minute nature reset, and we can do it indoors. And we can just I just the way that I talk to people in my talks, but I don't have to do a whole entire hours worth of talks or anything, and just set up little sessions with people one-on-one. It's only like 30 seconds, a 30-second reset. you know
That's
yeah,
neat. No, that would
yeah.
be really valuable. And that was why, okay, it's funny because I had a couple people that were like, I don't really understand what you need. And I'm like, it's okay, because I'm asking you what you want to do before I'm asking you what I need. Because I
Mhm.
honestly wanted people to be able to tell me, like, well, what is it that you're really good at? What is it that you could do in a mini dose? Because if I tell you, like, I need you to do this and I need you to do it in 20 minutes, and but like, I don't know, I feel like people's natural elements. I mean, I'm not saying full tilt, like you can do whatever you want, but it's like,
Yeah, we're not going to go
okay,
naked
well,
or anything.
yeah.
Rub mud all
No,
over
but
ourselves and dance.
yeah, of course, there's going to be, a schedule and people, but in the building phase of it, I really have yeah, it's a different style of building because I like to invite and then build first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really gotten me to stretch I mean, originally I wrote a book, I wanted everybody to buy my book, but now it's
Yeah.
become so much more than that. It's become, I want people to realize how easy it is and how innate it is for us to be in connection with nature, and this gives me an opportunity to try different things. So when I first heard of the wellness show right at the very, very beginning, I was like, well, it might be fun to attend, but now I'm like, what could I do? I could set up a table with like moss and sticks and pine cones and things and ask people, to pick something and to connect. 30 seconds is all you need, to
Yes.
reconnect with nature right there where you're standing and get them to experience that. You don't need to be
Ah,
outside,
I
like,
love that. That's my
yeah,
favorite yet. I
yeah. And I
love
think
it.
I could just have a table set up with, things people will be drawn to it because there'll be rocks and stones and moss and things like that. And it's going to look very natural. And it's just, what are you drawn to? And at the end of it, I can even say, take something with you, take something home. That black stone that you've been holding on to and playing with in your hand for the last 20 minutes, take that home with you,
Right. Yes.
so
Oh,
it's become so much more than just my book because of this, because of what you have created. So
well, because now
kudos.
you can see little ways that you could insert opportunities instead of yeah, I see that. And then
Yeah.
it's probably going to formulate into something more as you progress too, because then you'll be able to see, how to make, because I imagine like it probably feels like it's a passion, but of course everybody likes to make their passion like, also their purpose. So it's like, you can
Yeah.
merge the two over time.
Yeah. And then I see myself like going to a business, and teaching about nature retreats at your own desk, and lowering your anxiety and everything just for the 30-second reset at your own desk, that kind of thing. And yes, maybe they have to buy a copy of the book for everybody in attendance, as, but I want people to be aware, like it's so easy to do and nobody does it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be real. You could watch a video, you could read a book, you could look at a picture. It does, and your body reacts exactly the same way. So I need to get people to realize the real thing is great, but if you don't have time for it, you can still make it work. So, and this is so perfect for me. And I see myself working with others too, to do like a nice retreat weekend where we can take them out in the woods and we can connect that way. And then we could do some breath work out in the woods, and just making it an experience. It's so much more than me just writing a book, and it's really opened my mind to all the ways that I could teach. And start small. Start with this little 30-second reset at a wellness show in a retreat section. Like it's a start. So, and I can find out how people respond to it. Get some feedback from people too.
Mm-hmm. And it gives you the building tools if you test it as you're going, because then you get feedback and you refine and you do more. I mean, I'll be honest, that's what I did with the road show. I had elements of what I was doing because I had a key idea of the ways I thought would be helpful for people to open up and explore. And then it worked. And I'm like, yes, it did. It worked exactly like, and I think, it's doing that. It's getting safe to start something small and progress it up. And then like, you look back and you're like, oh my God, I just walked like 10 miles and I felt like I only took a couple steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my thing right now is I don't know what I am. I feel like I'm more than a seeker, but at the same time, I don't know if what was the next one? There's grow.
Connect. So there's connect, grow, and share.
It's connect. Yes. I think I'm probably more into connect, but I'm not quite there yet. I need to see how I feel at that home show to see if that's, I keep calling it a home show, but the expo.
Oh yeah, they have all kinds of names. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think.
Oh no, I think so too. I think you'll get confidence in seeing, and maybe you'll get the vision. I think what could be possible is as you're interacting, then the vision will click on what you're, what and who you are when you're presenting yourself, right? So then it's.
Yeah. And that's when I talked at the roadshow at the very end there, that was sort of like reflecting back on everything that I'd heard, and experienced with sounds and the drumming sessions and all of those things they were all felt right to me. So I had no problem standing up there and saying, this is who I am. And I like you guys.
Yeah, that was also a key moment for me too, was when you felt that confidence, because I remember thinking in my mind, hey, I should probably open up the floor at the end if anybody felt called to want to speak. And then you mentioned it, and then I went, oh yeah, I forgot I was going to do that. And then it worked perfectly, because that's what I was hoping to inspire and that's what I was encouraging people to attend the road show, even from no matter what stage they were on. I would say, even if you're like a very seasoned wellness provider, come and feel a little bit of like a different feel of how we could interact with each other, and maybe you'll blossom into some other areas, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I loved the fact that we had some science people there too, because I started out as a biologist. That's where everything started from, was science. Loved numbers, love that kind of stuff. But I also am pretty much balanced between my creative side and my science side. So, I like to teach people about plants, but I make it fun.
Yes.
So that's what they remember. They remember the things that I teach them, because it's not just me standing up there talking about photosynthesis and biofeedback and bignomorphosis and all these big words. It's me putting it into the fact that we're just like plants. Plants were on the planet first. They know how to live. They know how to work the system. We should learn from them.
Science came from plants.
Yes.
Like, that's where, It's
Yeah,
we had to build it off of that. So that if you didn't have plants, you didn't have science.
yeah, yeah. So I know
I
I'm
mean, you
taking
have
it.
the elements,
I
but
think I've
whatever.
gotten a little bit off track, but I just wanted to see if this is something that the idea that would fit in to what you're thinking.
Yes. Yeah.
And also, just want to hold off on the connect part until after
Oh, yeah.
to
No,
see how this
wait.
goes.
Yeah,
So
I always tell everybody just to wait until they're a full yes. Like, and that's the easy part about it is there's no rush. The project's here, and then I do the same thing with the old things I get interested in. I go, okay, I'm feeling maybe about this, and then if I come back around and I feel that full yes, eventually, then I go, okay, I guess I'm meant to go back to that thing.
yeah, and it's nice to be able to put something out there. I know once the hub becomes more, I don't want to say advanced, but it's just a bigger, more fully evolved system. It'll be easy to put out a poll out there or something and say, has anybody ever done this before and how did it feed? Do you have any ideas on how I could make it better? Or, what do I need to know before I go? Offering
You might
something
even
like
find
that.
another plant enthusiast. That's what I feel. Sometimes are like, we might find others who have different things that they're interested in and build off of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I
Like,
know I think it's Kimberly that she has the soul to soul and she
yeah.
has the tree thing.
Mhm.
And that she was the one who actually got me. I went to one of her little free monthly things and she did my chart and read some stuff out of it off of it. And I was just kind of like, I'm supposed to do this. This is what
Yep.
I'm earth and water combined with sun. Like I am a plant, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm everything
Yeah.
that I embody everything that a plant is. So
Oh,
uh
that's really neat. Oh, that's
yeah,
fascinating.
so I was born under she was just going through just a quick little there was only four of us there, so she could do all of our charts. And
Oh, yes.
it was just really it gave me the courage to go to the next thing, which was the road show, right?
Hey.
So I felt like I was going and I knew somebody,
Yes. Oh, I
so
totally get it. It's
yeah,
amazing.
it's been good for me and I think you're on the right track for it's
Hey.
getting people in here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I want to try to help make it easier for collaborations and stuff too. Just like you said, like when people are I mean, I want to collaborate with everybody. And then I go, well, crap, I only got so much schedule. So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to collaborate as things go along.
Yeah.
But then I also want people to collaborate because then I want to go to their things too.
Yeah.
So it's a
And
little
I
bit of
don't want to have
everything.
to do everything. Like, I don't want to have to plan
No,
every bit because I would never be able to know what I need for a studio. What do I need? I would never have thought of like providing snacks and things like that. Like other people have done things like that before, and I can learn from them until I know what I'm doing. So,
that's how I got here. I just kept going to things and noticing and you already have a key eye for that. Like your writing was really amazing when you were helping me with the road show. Like I'm going to keep using those questions now actually. Okay, so I started the next road show and I built them right in my form now. So they actually have to answer those. I've made up my mind that that's how I want the project to go. So
yeah.
you're already a part of it. Yay.
Well, I was just basically asking questions
No, but
from
it's
myself. I don't
yeah.
want to know what this is and what that is. I want to know why you do it.
Yep,
Why
exactly.
this is important. So
Yeah,
I'm the
because
why
there's a magic
person.
in that. Yeah, in
Yeah.
knowing that. Because, okay, even as people were talking, some of them talked more about themselves or their thing where they did a mix. And I thought anything that they said was perfect and great. Like everybody enjoyed what everybody was saying. So,
Yeah. And it was really nice because people opened up, and told us a little bit about their personal journeys and where the connection to this, I call it an art, this art form that they have for
yes,
wellness,
right.
how they've connected, it drew them to it almost.
Everybody's got a story. And then
Yeah.
it gives that person who's sitting there still creating that part of their story. And then this light bulb goes off and then they go, oh shit, I could do that too, right? So this
Yeah.
is where I said there's a sneaky thing about this. You mark my words. Most people start out as seekers and they want to progress because that's why they came. Like they want to do the wellness, but then, like I said, the wellness journey moves everybody into their passions, which is part of the journey, which is part of the layers.
Yeah.
And that's a
And I know
great part.
for myself, it's going to be adding layers. I do
Yeah.
want to say one thing about the modalities need to be defined, because I don't know what the difference is between
True.
Reiki and I can't even the Ayurvedic, or however you say that. Like, I don't
Okay.
know what those things are.
Yes.
Um, I wouldn't be able to tell you if one was a physical, like if it involved breathing, or if it involved stretching, or if it, if it's hands on, or all of those things are just words to me. They don't have a meaning. So once
Yes.
we get past this show, then I say we, but there should be more of a consistency. So when I'm scrolling through there, I can say, what is this stuff anyway?
Mhm.
And this is based
Yes.
on, Chinese medicine, blah, blah, blah. And it has to do with, whatever, acupuncture. What's the difference between acupuncture and, so, sound work, like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
so
That
that when you're,
resource is limited. You're right. I want to do
yeah,
that
when you're
too.
going through and you're saying, well, I've
I
always
know.
been
I'll
curious.
start doing at least one every. I'll do Mondays and Fridays a new article, because I've been trying to think about something to keep it more consistent and something new in there, because the energy of the last month was cruncher, but now I have a better system going forward, that I was like thinking of having, like, because I have the ability to schedule posts. Anybody can, by the way, too. So I believe anybody can actually push schedule posts and put things up that way. So yeah, okay, I like that suggestion. Thank you, because it
But I,
is something I
I
wanted
don't
to.
think, don't make yourself write everything,
No,
like,
no,
yeah, just,
encouraging everybody. Oh, I've been trying to say, like, hey, everybody.
yeah. But I mean, everybody who does these things wants to talk about it. And
Mhm.
so if I know absolutely nothing, like I could even do a few little pointer, tell me what this is, like just so that everybody's on the same track. So
Right.
me going through, scrolling through it, and I open something, I have no idea what it is. What do I want to know? I
You
want to
want to
know
know the
what
person
it
who knows
is,
something about it, right?
how does it work, why is it beneficial, and that kind of thing. Like it's not so much, I don't need to know that this is a type of massage. I want to know a little
Yeah,
more than that, like
yeah, yeah.
what does it activate? And who is it
Yes.
for? And is it for
Why would you do it?
anxiety, or is it for trauma? Is it, that kind of thing? More of
Yes.
the just the kibbles and bits part of the nuts and bolts of what
Hmm.
that is.
I'm gonna write that down. So it's like, maybe it's like a slight format of um, like what it is, but what it's for. Is what it's for.
Because I mean,
Kind of like where it came from. Like,
yeah,
I
where
don't
it's
know.
based on, if like if is it in East Indian? Is it Chinese? Is it
Yeah.
you know, uh, brand new, like modern science, just where did it come from? What is it? How does it benefit my body? What is it traditionally used for?
Yeah.
You know, and what does it involve? Because I'm kind of the person, I'm not big on touching, so I am not a massage person, but I
Yeah.
might be but I can handle acupuncture. But and somebody would be opposite of me completely, right? Like no acupuncture, but you can massage.
No, I
So
get it. I get it. You got to know
yeah.
yourself.
So
Yeah.
knowing what's involved, like I just was flipping through and I saw there was kitten yoga and laughter yoga and all these things
Right.
I didn't even know existed. And then there was something about I can't remember what it was exactly, but they looked like yoga, but somebody else had hands on and they were doing like a chiropractic almost thing while you were doing yoga. And it was just like, I don't know what the heck that is, but I don't
Wow.
think I would
Yeah.
be comfortable doing that.
True. Very true. Yeah. And how about what about what would we call it? Will we have a Florosophy section? Do you want something in there? Would we call that a modality?
I don't think not. Right now, it's more like a movement than anything else. I
Okay.
like the plant-based knowledge in there, and I can post stuff about, you know,
Okay. There is a
thinking of
plant-based
plants
knowledge.
as
Yes.
sort of like yeah, that's in there, and I'm good with that. And at my table or my little section of the table where I want to do this little nature setup, I'd like to have a little sign that has, Friends of Florosophy, because I have a Facebook page where people can go
Yeah.
and there's going to do a book launch through there, and I'm going to
You
have
could even
limited
have a
edition
sign with your
T-shirts. And,
book.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, anything. I was going to mention that in my reply to everybody once I got all the information, and I'm trying to organize it this week so we all have a more clear picture. Definitely people bring their materials for inside, anything that they feel like they want to help promote themselves, that's open. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now I don't actually physically have anything,
Yeah.
Florosophy like, but
Yeah.
I have my friends of Florosophy is like a membership. Eventually I would like to create the Inner Garden, which is a paid membership, you
Yep.
know. But I want to do a big book launch. I want to have people there. I've already got people. I know so many people online from all over. I've got friends in California and friends in Spain and friends in Australia, and they're all waiting for my book to come out. Like I've got a really nice long waiting list for my book. So I want to have a really nice online book launch where all of these people, we can all come together and have a big Zoom party, and toast champagne and say the book is here, go get it.
Awesome.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and have people who are part of the launch be able to get it for like 99 cents or something and do a review on Amazon.
Yes. Yep.
So
Yeah.
just special things. Just I've got little freebies and things that will be connected with it and online. Like I'm creating a workbook to go along with it. So it's like a journaling type,
Ooh,
go out in
nice.
nature and answer the workbook stuff. So that would maybe be a bundle that I could present when the two come out together, that kind of thing.
Oh, that'd
But
be so awesome. I do so much reflection with, yeah, plants and other things. I can totally, like, I don't know exactly, but in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, you probably got some good ones because I sure done some good reflections with plants in my day.
yeah,
That's great.
I actually offer a little thing online right now. It's just called Focus on Nature, and it's done with your cell phone. And every day it goes on for a week,
Ooh,
and you go out
where's
each
that
day,
at?
and there's a prompt to take a picture of, say, just clouds.
Nice.
And then you go home that evening and you look at the pictures of the clouds, and that's when you do your journaling. That brings back
Oh,
the reflection from nature and brings it indoors, so you don't have to. You can get that connection that it's just looking at nature can calm you the way you were felt. You can reflect back to how you felt doing the walk. The next day it might be take a close up of leaves or running water or something like that. And then there's prompts that go with it, just to
neat.
yeah, just to help people realize that you don't have to be out in the woods. You don't have to sell all your possessions and go live in a cabin. You go off the grid. You can connect with nature right in front of your computer even.